Ground Zero is in Louisville, September 7th. It's the very first Shawn Michaels Undertaker match. They're going to have a ton, maybe not the first ever, but certainly the first one on pay-per-view, and they're going to have a wild, great brawl. And fast forward a little bit, and there's some conversation about Shawn's behavior, wouldn't you know it. Probably the biggest news of the past week revolved around Shawn Michaels' behavior at the September 9th taping in Muncie, Indiana. Neither Vince McMahon nor The Undertaker were at the taping, and Shawn did an interview where he came out in tight biker shorts with socks or socks stuffed in his crotch for whatever reason, and proceeded to make some very lewd gyrations, like acting as if he was humping Jim Ross, swearing during his interview, and calling out Undertaker, who was on tape on the video wall. Everything was able to be edited off the show, and if you didn't know about the incident, you wouldn't even know the interview was heavily edited. Since Undertaker wasn't there, but he was on tape on the big wall that people thought he was, when Shawn kept insulting him, calling him a big chicken shit, and begging him to come out, and calling him more names when he didn't come out, it made Undertaker look bad to the live crowd. Not to mention, it was totally unprofessional. Whether Michaels was doing it in another attempt to get fired so he could go to WCW, or he had other ideas up his sleeve, it definitely brought out a lot more negativity to him in a lot of circles. Man, this is a promo I'll never forget, because it just felt so out of left field for him to be wearing what he was wearing, obviously gimmicking his crotch up. And then when you hear, the worst part isn't even what we saw on TV. Vince isn't there. You were, I believe. Is this one of those, when the cat's away, the mice will play sort of thing? And how did you deal with this?
Well, first of all, he didn't stuff himself until right before he went out.
Got it.
And also, I don't make a habit of checking people's crotches before they go out.
Tony Schiavone does. He's a world famous hog watcher.
You know what?
Needed him that day, didn't you?
Not really. But yeah, I mean, I was pissed, and Shawn just came back, didn't stop, and just I believe he left right after. But it was unprofessional. It was not cool. Vince wasn't there, and since it was tape, he couldn't see it either. So didn't get to see it and talk about it till the next day. And when Vince saw it, was obviously pissed off. Fined Shawn. Probably the biggest fine ever at the time. And
do you remember how much it was?
It was a lot.
Okay.
It was a lot. And Shawn was like, okay, fine. I'll pay your fine. Here you go. But it was
5 figures?
Yeah, it was just unprofessional. But then you fast forward 6 weeks, and all of a sudden that was attitude. What Shawn was doing there, that was attitude. We need more of that. And the Attitude Era was born.
I mean, you've said that pretty consistently, that this stuffed crotch interview is the beginning of Attitude, according to Vince McMahon.
100%.
So let's talk about one night only in Birmingham, England. Shawn defeats the British Bulldog to win the European title. We're going to cover this show in long form in a few weeks. But the plan for the finish was supposed to lead to a return match the following April when the company came back. We'll table that for a few weeks from now. Let's talk about September 22nd. This is a big-time Monday Night Raw from Madison Square Garden. Lots going to happen here. Stone Cold's going to get arrested. We're going to see Cactus Jack come back. Lots of cool stuff. But Shawn Michaels does an interview here and calls out The Undertaker, doing almost a spoof of what was edited off the show the prior week, saying he knew he was there this week. An Undertaker came out, but Helmsley ran out, and the two destroyed Taker with a chair with a little help from Rick Rude. Finally, did you just rip ass?
No, that was my damn chair.
You ripped ass.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Look, right now, if I was to do that, it would be another situation.
Oh, it'd be a liquid deal.
It'd be thunder.
Oh, okay.
With pouring rain. Hail and brimstone.